Here's the disclaimer. This is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are risky. Do your due diligence and invest at your own risk. You can lose money. Hey everybody, today's July 18th, 2017. I am Tragic Jeffrey, and today we're going to talk about Chaincoin. Yes, we're going to talk about this thing again. In one of the communities that I'm currently in, there's a lot of talk about this coin, and people after my last video were asking, well, why won't you get involved? Like, why won't you get involved with the coin? And I won't get involved with it because it doesn't meet a bit of my due diligence. It just doesn't. Alright, so what is Chaincoin? Well, it's another cryptocurrency that is, according to their roadmap, because you can go up here, you can go to the roadmap. You know, they were established in 2014. It was basically a coin, and you can do master nodes, which means you buy 1,000 of the coin and then you can earn residuals, which not a bad thing. I think Dash or some other coins do that. Pivx, I think, does that as well. So there's coins that do this. All right. Now in the last video, I had mistaken this one with another coin in which I thought you were serving processing power. But let's just go with what they tell us they're going to be doing this year, because evidently 2014 they were established. They did nothing in 2015. They did nothing in 2016, and now they're surging on the scene in 2017. So what are they planning on doing? They're going to give the roadmap. Well, evidently they did that. They're going to change their branding in 2017, right? So evidently that's here. They're going to have a knowledge base to assist the community, videos and content for beginners to advance. Then they're going to try to get on Bittrex. They're going to create a social media presence. They're going to have a master node dashboard monitoring system to keep track of your investment. Development, subsidy, and budgeting updates. Percentage of it's going to go to 3 devs. Currency exchange services, where they're going to have exchange through fiat currencies. Not sure how. Their online wallet will come in the 3rd quarter of this year. They're going to have masternodes improvements in the 4th quarter based on Dash. Code base upgrades in quarter 4, so they're not going to be updating their codes until the 4th quarter. Mobile wallet, then merchant services, and 2018 they're doing some other stuff. Alright, so sounds great. So what stops any other coin that's already out there doing the same thing from eating up their space? Well, why all of a sudden is it so big, right? Why are people now getting involved? Because evidently nothing was happening. Like, you can just see it was flat. Then there's a little bumps right around in April. There's some little bumps and people searching for it. And then all of a sudden you've got a surge just in the month of July, starting in around the 4th of July weekend, right? All of a sudden there's an uptick. So why are people searching for it? So I go to the Wayback Machine at archive.org, web.archive.org, and I put in Chaincoin. And as you can see, 2015 is really where they had a website, because there's no history of it prior to 2016. There's some 2016. If you look at what their website looked like, this is what it looked like before. Very simple site. And then, of course, what I did was I went to 2017, and then as you can see, around May, they started working on the layout that we currently see now. So in May, they had begun the process of upgrading their site and working on their company info and image. So uh, one thing that kind of caught my attention is if you look at it, they had something that had meet the team on there. Okay, interesting. I don't see that now. See? And one of the things that is important to me is being able to see a team. Like if we go to Ethereum, right? And you go to their website, right? You'll see their GitHub, meetups, YouTube, blog, the tweets. There you can see that there's a lot of information about who they are. You can see their blogs, you can see the Twitter. Now, while I would love to be able to see an actual link to see the developers, like Meet Us or what have you, you can actually just go to say, if you go here, if we go here, origin, wait, there's somebody that's associated with it, right? Vitalik Buterin. So now you see who he is. So we have some visibility as to who is behind the actual project. And then there's plenty of videos of him um, um, speaking and doing things. So right now, looking at this coin, there is no transparency. I don't know who they are. And that for me is an issue. I'm not going to invest in things I don't invest in companies who have people that I can't see, that I can't look at your LinkedIn page or I can't see you on YouTube. You're investing in the person behind the technology. Just like people invested in Steve Jobs, just like people invested into Bill Gates, just like people invested into Mark Zuckerberg. These are the figureheads at the front of their own technology. So where are Chaincoin's people? Who's running this? You don't know, right? That's not a good investment. So of course I went to the Bitcoin Talk community and I read it, and there's a lot of guys there, and they're a very good community. Great guys. They're trying to help people get their stuff together, and they're helping each other, and that then leads to me thinking, well, maybe this is community driven. Let me look up Chaincoin on Google and see who is the community that is driving the surge in the coin price. So I go here, I went and put Chaincoin into Google. I clicked on videos because that's typically the way that information is really consumed nowadays. So, and then who do I see? I see box mining, and he's talking about uh, chain coin. Then I go here. There's another video. Here's another video. Here's another video. High on coin. There's this guy's face that I just saw here. There's his face. They are so high on coins. High on coins. High on coins. I see one video for Chaincoin itself. But then I see Crypto Trading Pro. If I looked up here, I see Crypto Trading Pro. So I see the same people that are really pumping this coin up. It's the same people. Let's go to page 2. Well, look at there. Same people. Homeless investor. There's a new name. Bitcoin's Essentials. Cliff on Crypto. I saw that name in the front of the page. High on Coins. Same guy again. This Superman Udemy. one another video from Chaincoin, but for the most part, it's Crypto Trading Pro. It's the same people that are pushing this coin. Fine, no problem. So you've got a community, as we can see, that is pushing it up, and you see there's over 11 feeds in this. So let's go now here. What I did was went to tools, and I said just give me the past month. Same videos. So really, in the past month is where we're seeing all of this information really surge. So now when you go back and you look at what's happening here, you now understand there's a why to the price movement in this market. Here's your why, because I always ask myself, why is an asset making a move? What news was released that is pushing that price point up? So you see, so I just clicked on page 2, and you see you're starting to see a lot of information. Same people's faces showing up, pushing it. And again, over 11 pages. We can keep clicking, and this is just in the past month. Right? Everybody's going hard with Chaincoin. You're pushing the price. If a coin is that great, what does it do? I mean, when I come here when they say why chain card, no pre-mining, financial independence, personal banking. How? You don't do personal banking. I mean, yeah, you can trade it on one exchange, and according to your roadmap, you're going to try to get on Bittrex, so that you can get more trading volume going. But why? What does it do other than it's a masternode coin? It doesn't really do anything, and I don't like buying something that could be replicated. So wait, replicate. Let's see the GitHub, because of course they don't list their GitHub here. They don't list their GitHub on the site. They have a wiki. Let's go to their wiki. Maybe they have their GitHub here. Let's see. I'm going through this due diligence with you so that you can see what I do when I'm doing a due diligence on an asset. Well, I don't see your GitHub anywhere. I see everything else but your GitHub. But all I had to do was a Google search on Chaincoin and GitHub Chaincoin, and guess what I found? Here's their GitHub. So now let's look at their GitHub. Well, we can see immediately this was forked from Zeta Coin. Okay, so it's not your initial coin. It's not even your own base, which is fine. There's plenty of coins that do that. They go ahead and fork from another coin. So you forked from Zeta Coin, and then there's over 4,000 commits, which looks good. Over 129 contributors. That looks good until you actually click in. All right. Commits. They changed some versioning numbers. They added some seed nodes. They merged some pull requests from this Brackmick. So somebody else's stuff, they merged some pull requests in from somebody that was developing on it on their own, and they pulled it in. So somebody was fixing some things. All right. And this as of July 15th. But what was changed wasn't really, when you print out to screen, that's really nothing substantial. There's no substantial fixes. If you go back to July 14, update sport keys. What did you do here? Oh, you just changed some keys. You changed something on the toolbar. You changed something with the icon. New icon files. You fixed the splash screen. You had some new OSX icons. You did some rebranding. So it's very superficial changes. And it's very superficial. Use any port for masternode. Merge pull requests from Chainpoint 09. Add seed nodes. So look at this though. We went from 2017 to 2015. So we skipped 2016. So that up until 2016, no changes were done. March of this year, they started making very small changes to it. So basically, this had been dumped, left alone, since they did their merger in 2014. Because remember, it says it was established in 2014, which is a merger off of Zeta Coin. So they forked off of Zeta Coin, and then if we go older, you'll be able to see that more. So actually, they say they were 2014, right? They said they were established in 2014. Here's the initial Zeta Coin. So see, all of these changes, this is still when it's Zeta Coin. These are all the changes from Zeta Coin. Zeta Coin, Zeta Coin. Now, the first release of Chaincoin is January 18, 2014, which is when it first forked over. And they did minor changes. Unix timestamp changes, UI updates, then we come here, minor change. So now think about that. From 2014, they merged off of Zeta Coin. Then when they come here, 2015, they do a merge pull request showing 1,115 changes in the files, which is pretty substantial. But is it superficial? Chaincoin. What is the major changes? Like I said, you can go through all of this yourself, but for me, again, that's 2015. If you go up now, where in 2015 they did all these superficial changes, you're in 2016, you miss. 2017, you're doing superficial changes. You haven't made any substantial code changes in years. So I wouldn't. So the technology for me is shaky, because you have over almost 2 years worth of changes that haven't been done, or at least a year worth of changes that haven't been made to it. So now let's look at it as just the numbers, because I wanted to look at it at the back end and look at it from the standpoint of, okay, as a developer, this is what it's doing, this is where it came from. As somebody who does marketing, okay, this is why we're getting a bump. Where is the bump coming from? It's coming from a community that is promoting a movement of hodling, buy and hold. Become master nodes, basically getting 1,000 and then earning a specific amount of money per month in residuals. So plug your computer in and have it running to make some money. But as a whole, what does it do? Nothing. It doesn't do anything. So when I look at the price is reflected in the fact that they do nothing. 2017, nothing. We go up here to right around the time that we talked about, whereas between July 2nd, we start seeing a small surge. July 8th, we started to see, Google Trends says exactly what happened. In Google Trends, there was more search traffic coming to this. Why? Because there was a lot more news coming from people who were doing this hodl movement. So it's not based on the tech making any fundamental changes. It's based off of a group of people deciding they were going to buy into the tech that did absolutely nothing. Then it bumps up and it starts breaking into this channel between a monthly and weekly number right here, and a daily number right here. It's just in this little channel right here. And this is where it sits. Why does it sit in this channel? Because there is no news from the actual technology. It's only from the community pushing it. How long can you continue to push something that does not have any substantial changes on its own? See, when you're dealing with Ethereum, there's a reason to justify the price point to a point because there's technology that people are using. Their smart contracts are being used. It's being utilized. If you look at other technologies that are out there, if you look at Gnosis being used, so there's a justification to the price point. They want to, this movement, and again, I'm not trying to spread FUD or be derogatory to it, but I've got to look at this just as an asset class, and I've got to look at it and say, if I was investing if I was investing in the internet before it became the internet, if I had the cash flow to invest, what would I be purchasing? Would I purchase the Amazons? If I knew the CEO, yes. Facebook, the one mistake I made in not investing in Facebook was not getting to know the actual CEO by watching the videos on who he is. If I had gotten to know him by watching those videos, that would have been a sure win, especially when it was at $11 or $17 a share. That would have been a certain win. But those are the things you've got to think about. You're investing not just in the tech, you're investing in the person behind the tech. Like the Bill Gates. Why would I invest in him? Because he was ruthless in his acquisition of technology, in how he locked down Microsoft and how he pushed it into businesses. He was ruthless in that. In Steve Jobs, the way he was consistent in the architecture of his hardware and what he was developing, making sure it's ease of use, being the first to jump on UI and graphic user interfaces, being ahead of the game in everything that he did. Those are the people that you're investing in. You don't just invest in some rudimentary thing because it has a number attached to it and think, oh, I am a cryptocurrency trader. Don't be a trader. I mean, you can trade, but don't be a trader where you just trade numbers. If you're just doing that, you're going to lose money, a lot of it. And then you're going to turn around and say, "Oh, well, it's because it's all crooked." How can it be? You made a bad decision. That's like saying penny stocks are all crooked. No, some penny stocks can get on a regular exchange. This is the penny stocks of today. Is the cryptocurrency market. Are the penny stocks of today. So what you have to be careful is you have to be careful as to why a price movement is happening. Know why it makes the move rather than just jumping on a movement because your fear of missing out. FOMO. So again, here is another reason why I will not jump on this. Fundamentally, there's no fundamentals. I can't even say this is speculation. I'll say that this pump and hodl movement, the pump and hold movement, has its legs into this coin. That's fine. And they say it, pump and hodl. They have videos where it's said. So I'm not sitting there, being derogatory to the individuals that are pumping it. By all means, if you want to follow them, if you want to watch what's going on, watch it. I'm going to watch from the sidelines. And it's not about me missing out. It's about me personally. I can't get behind a technology that has no real technology. There's no real reason for its existence other than it's a masternode. So what? Anybody can do that. What's going to stop the next person from spinning off from from somebody else's code base on GitHub that is in 2017? They spin off from a new one and then they jump on the bandwagon. There's going to be plenty of these that spin out and due in part to mostly because of this pump and hodl movement that's going on. So we will see. I'll keep an eye on it. I won't be making any trades or transactions into this, but I wanted you to know the why as to why this is going up. It is not because the technology is doing anything great. It's only because a community has wrapped itself around a coin. And they're saying they want to get it to $100. And when they get to $100, we'll see what happens. If they get to $100, we'll see what happens. Because I can see you can only pump something for so long. You can only get so many people interested. And the tops seem to be hitting the same place on the days. Comes here, pulls back. Comes here, pulls back. Today, we're halfway in. Touch that line again. Hasn't broken through. And I'm also looking at it's losing some steam over here. And I think he put out a news release yesterday. It didn't do much. And that would be the high on coins. He put out a news release yesterday, press release. It didn't do much. Because there's only so much you can do in pumping it. And the negative videos that are now coming out, and again, this is not a negative video. I am just presenting the facts. The negative videos are holding that coin down. No matter how much you want to pump and hodl, somebody lost money already, and that negative information is already coming out. They lost money on this day. They lost money on this day. Especially if they came in on this day. You know, they put money here. They lost a little bit, not much, if they held. But if they came in on this day, you've not been happy. You haven't been happy because you might have bought up here. And then the collapse happened. And again, we'll see if it breaks through the daily line, the daily average line here. But I see it tapering off. I see it rounding out. And you can see that, you know, is surge, rounded out. When you see a rounding, what happened? Down days. You see a rounding, what happened? Down days. I can't use technical lines and graphs and everything for this because the information is being manipulated by a community. The numbers are community manipulated. So I can't use that. I can only go off of, hey, do I see it losing steam? Yes. All right. So this is why I will not be in Chaincoin, because it's community driven. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other whether or not you should invest in it. You're going to make your own decision in that. Whether or not you want to follow those people and see what and keep following that movement, I'm not going to tell you one way or the other, because it is up to you to make your financial future decisions on how you decide to use your money, your hard-earned money, to make your own financial decisions. So I know I ran this a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to at least put all the facts on the table from what I saw. And again, I didn't do a big in-depth search. I only went through a few pages. I could have gone deeper, but once I figured out it was community driven, it made no sense for me to go any deeper, because now I understand why it's moving, why the price movement is happening. So you make your decisions, and I want you to be safe while you're investing. This is Jay, Tragic Jeffrey, for Toxic Hustle, and this is the July 18th episode of Crypto Plunder. Y'all have a great one. Peace.